Hello, welcome to the 231st episode of our podcast. If you're a first-time listener, feel free to follow us and maybe send a donation our way. Now on into the topics of today. First order, the left really needs to shut up about Henry Games, because the fact is no one on the right takes him seriously. He's a clown who only represents the furthest fringe ideas of the right. On the other hand, you have extreme regressive leftist personalities like Chelsea Brogger and Senator, I just wanted to emphasize that he's in the United States Senate, Gregory Cohn, who are completely accepted. Nothing he says matters because he's not important. In addition, when you're discussing his ideas, you should always be civil.
Hello, true believers. What does the left do when they can't handle ideas too dangerous for them? Well, isn't it obvious? They throw a screeching fit until they get what they want, and anyone to the right of Stalin is silenced. The latest freedom killer comes from the Cultural Marxist Indoctrination Hour, hosted by Chip Clifton, who, by the way, looks like he got into Slytherin, but wanted Hufflepuff. Presidential candidate Henry Games had booked an ad during his show. In response to this, Clifton threw the tantrum of all tantrums, threatening to not show up if the network ran the ad, proving that the left is incapable of being civil. And what did the network do? Well, imagine my shock. But they caved. They took down the ad, and in the process destroyed the marketplace of ideas. Now, if you ask me, he shouldn't have showed up anyway because his show is terrible. Now, you may be wondering, why exactly did Chip Clifton not want Henry Games' ad during his show? Well, you may need to sit down for this one because it's straight bollocks. Chip Clifton didn't want Henry Games on his show because he wants to make the Hunger Games real. That's it. At this rate, you won't even be able to want to make the Purge real without the far left flipping their shit. If you don't want to divide America into 12 separate districts, each one more poverty-stricken than the last, and then have children from each district kill each other on live television, move to Venezuela. Now, as a classical liberal, I always support freedom of speech in the democratic process. So what do you think of Henry Games? I think it's a very good thing that someone is finally standing up for order in American society. Social order is something I feel very strongly about. Can you elaborate on that? Well, what do you feel strongly about? I've never felt strongly about anything in my life.
Listen, if you don't want to make the Hunger Games real, argue against it. We have an open society where people are free to express ideas, even ones we don't personally disagree with. Obviously, I don't want to make the Hunger Games real. I don't think that's what my party is about. But obviously, his ideas connect with a lot of people, and it's important to have open discussions beyond your echo chambers in Brooklyn or San Francisco.
Now, with Henry Games, you have something that I think is really interesting philosophically, because you have this entire wing of America's culture seemingly created for nothing other than rage at his existence. But he has this tremendous amount of support from the American people. So what I see as an outsider is a sort of disconnect between these neo-Marxist corporate entities and the American working class. These neo-Marxists, all they see is the part of the Hunger Games that they are against morally, but they don't see how it could be good for society. What I've seen in my research is that hierarchies are ultimately what's best for society. It's true for lobsters and it's true for people. So if America were to adopt the district system and the actual Hunger Games from Suzanne Collins' popular novel series, well sure, the kids in the Hunger Games would have their quality of life depreciate, but society as a whole may be better off.
Election day was last night, and Henry Games is the president-elect, and I say, hallelujah. Finally, an end to the leftist tyranny that's been happening under 8 years of Delbert Price. Finally, someone who will stand up for American values. Finally, someone who will make